Well, hey there, everybody. I'm Nancy Fox. I'm CEO of Fractional Connections and ProductWise, and welcome to another edition of the Business Wise podcast. So today I want to talk to you about a really important aspect of beginning the journey into productization of your service business, and that is how to do the research for your business. So very often I notice that a lot of people they have a great idea for their product and they really want to start launching it and they just go for it. They just have an idea and they get excited about it. They fall in love with it and they launch. And then they don't know why it doesn't work. And that's because they really haven't done enough of the vetting process, which I think is so very crucial. So today I want to share with you I want to tell you that there is some really phenomenal ways that you can get research about your product, about your productized service for free if you do this the right way. And I've been doing this for years and I help my clients do this. And I want to share with you that if you want to become a really successful productized professional, or what I call an IP powered professional, nothing, and I mean nothing, is more important than you talking to your potential customers or clients before you finalize your product, before you launch your product. That is so very, very important. So case in point, in addition to guiding service business owners in developing their productized offers, we at ProductWise are in development of a few of our own subscription products. We've been considering adding a productized service position for the health and beauty service arena, and have been working on that for a while. And just as we teach our clients, we started conducting what I call informational interviews, not only to get preliminary feedback on the idea, but also for these reasons, so that we could hear how they describe the offer back to us. And that's where we get really great verbiage that we can use in our marketing, because when we hear it from the customers, that's the language that we need to be speaking so that that their attention is captured. If we're using their words, they're going to listen. And if we use our words, maybe not so much. And we get to learn how they would introduce a new product or a service. And it's just phenomenal because we get to see and listen to how they think and how they perceive it, right? Now, what they would resonate with in the way a launch would happen. And we get to hear what they think needs to be fixed or tweaked or reworked, and what would make it compelling in their market for them, because they know their market so well, right? And we would even get to hear the pushback that we would get out if we launched it today. We would know the pushback we would get, the objections we would get. We hear it from them directly before we ever have to hear no, or sort of get ghosted by people. So it's really a wonderful process to go through before you ever launch any of your productized offers. Now, it doesn't mean that if you hear a no, or if you hear objections, or if they give you pushback, that it means that your idea is destined to be a flop. To the contrary, it means that you have to develop and tweak and redevelop until it becomes a really desirable offer that the market has been waiting for. That's the beautiful part of this researching stage of your business. We call it vetting, right? And that's really in the late stages, in the late section of phase one or stage one of our process, and the early part of stage two, which is the developmental stage. But it really means that you also have really great intelligence for free that you can actually apply in the development of your productized offer. And we also learned that it's very, very hard for people to visualize a new offer without some kind of a prototype. So often new productizing professionals have a great idea, but don't really know how to prototype it. Well, that's in our wheelhouse, and that's exactly what we help our clients do. We help them develop these visual prototypes exactly so that their potential clients and customers can get a sense of this, that they don't have to really try to imagine something that doesn't have any tangible, realistic existence, right? So the more realistic it appears to your potential customers, the more apt they're going to be able to relate to it and sort of embrace it. Now, I assure you that the first iterations of the Uber app or Airbnb or Angie's List did not start out looking and working the way that we know them today and the way that we use them today. And that's why, they went through a huge really extensive testing process, and so should we. So I assure you that, this is really, if you do the right informational interviews, you're going to get valuable intelligence for free, and it's precious intelligence, objective feedback that you can then use and implement before you launch and make very costly and time intensive mistakes. So how do you invite the right informational interviewees into and to give you their valuable time and precious objective feedback? How do you get them to actually talk to you? Well, we have a few steps that we recommend. The first one is you want to create an informational interview list of names, people who are objective and knowledgeable, that you think that when you reach out to them, they would be open to having a preliminary conversation with you. Second step is to prepare an email script that makes it enticing for them, not for you, but for them, to spend a few minutes with you answering some key questions about your potential productized offer. And a few minutes is usually about 15 to 20 minutes max. So by the way, we provide prepared scripts for our clients around these informational interviews so that you can attract the right pilot testers and get the right informational interviewees into your fold. And in the Productwise private programs and in our new association for Productized Professionals, we're going to be sharing a lot of these kinds of templates. So stay tuned for them. And I'm going to actually leave a link for you in the box below so that you can take a look at these at your leisure. And now this doesn't mean that you have to pay your informational interviewees. To the contrary, many of them are going to be willing to donate a few minutes to you because they want to be helpful to you. They want to make a difference for their industry, for their field, and they love giving their opinions to people. So very often they're going to be very eager. If you are doing this in a very professional way and have a real solid concept that's going to be relevant to their field and to their business, they're going to be very open to that. So if it's the way in which you approach this information request, it can be very, very valuable for them as well as for you. And they'll be very, very willing to give you a short window of their time. The third recommendation I have is that you have your top 3 to 5 open-ended questions prepared for a maximum 15 to 20 minute conversation. 20 minutes is the outset, right? And to have 3 to 5 prepared open-ended questions, not one-word answer design questions. So they have to be very well thought out. And we help our clients do a lot of that thinking through of these kinds of questions so that the better your questions, the more your interviewees are going to respect you. It's going to be a very cool experience for both of you. Step 4 is ask permission to stay in touch to give them updates after you launch your product. Most of them will want to know what their suggestions and their feedback is going to turn into. So I'm sure that they're going to say yes, but always advisable to ask their permission, and then always send a thank you message after they've given you their time. I strongly recommend that you get very personal with your ideal potential clients and customers as you embark on your productizing journey. And it's the perfect time for you to create your competitive advantage, enhancing the way that you serve your clients by becoming what I call an IP-powered professional, somebody who has developed a service professional who has your own intellectual property developed. So I hope that this has been very helpful for you. Make sure you hit the subscription bell and so you get updates from us in our podcasts and our YouTube videos, and we'll see you in the next episode. I'm Nancy Fox, CEO of Fractional Connections and Productwise. See you soon.